Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome, everybody. Kevin Jackson here. KJRadio.com, so you can reach us, 844-551-8255. Liz writes to me, she says this: just imagine, say the Tea Party had a permit to gather in downtown St. Louis. Let's just say that instead of a regular, peaceful, polite, meticulously clean protest, they'd had at least as many hundreds. They theoretically threatened to leave a paper towel in the grass. The horror. Nancy Senile Pelosi, Chuck the Jerk Schumer, and Dick left blank Durbin would label them a terrorist group, which would they probably already have, and demand they be stopped even before the event and arrested, etc. What she's saying, folks, is knowing that some of these people in St. Louis who got their permits to march or whatever were going to be disruptive, the people on the left condone it. They condone Antifa. They condone Black Lives Matter. Terrorist groups. And for the record, it didn't matter what happened in St. Louis with this verdict with Stockley. That the left is going to complain no matter what. It's like my grandmother would say, that woman could have a ham under each arm and be begging for bread. That's what the left does. It doesn't matter what the outcome is, folks. That's the way they are. They are programmed to complain. And so while we do things the right way, if we were going to protest a verdict, they wouldn't have to board up buildings. They pre-boarded up buildings. Let me give you just some examples. 16 libraries in an area of St. Louis were shut down. There were businesses boarding up. I drove by them and said, holy cow, it looks like there's a hurricane coming. You would think Hurricane Harvey or Irma was so big it was going to reach inland, and St. Louis was boarding up in order to be, for concern of the hurricane. They were boarding up because they weren't sure of what was going to happen. Now, I'm not a huge Eric Greitens fan. I think he's, I've got my own opinion about him. But I'll give it this. Being prepared, having looked at Ferguson and bringing out preemptively the National Guard and so on, police force like you wouldn't believe, police presence, I should say, it thwarted all of the things that the left wanted to happen. They had troublemakers here, folks. They were throwing bottles at the police and all this. But people were getting arrested. It was get them quick, snatch and grab fast. But you can imagine what would happen. So I want to go back to the verdict now. So the verdict comes out. They said it would come out at 3. It didn't. It came out at roughly noon Central Time. And so it was the talk of talk radio. It was the talk of the town. People were concerned. People were sending me things on social media. Kevin, once they found out I was here, Kevin, are you afraid? You need to go. Are you going to be able to get out of the airport? Where are you located? Because they know I'm relatively close to the action. I said, no. In fact, I'm going to be in the action because I've alerted Fox. They want me to go on. We're going to go do some stuff. I'm going to go down there, start doing remotes, etc. I did a remote Saturday morning on Fox and Friends in front of the mayor's house. A mayor whose house got vandalized, and she was actually against the cops. Now, let's dissect this case just a little bit. So, no justice, no peace. Black Lives Matter and the idiots on the left want to determine what justice is. And as I mentioned earlier, they don't care what justice is. The only justice would have been to find Stockley guilty, and I guarantee you, if they found him guilty, it would not have said, oh, well, good, the criminal justice system is now at work. They would go, finally, we get one. But, it would still be, but there's still a problem in the criminal justice system. There was no way to win. It's like when Barack Obama became president, everybody thought, sane people were like, well, okay, give up the idea that America's racist now. No, America became more racist. If you think that giving a verdict on a cop, I think they made the right decision, by the way. But if you think that putting a verdict on a cop and saying, he's guilty, that's going to make people go, we can finally believe in the criminal justice system. You are naive. There is nothing you're going to do that's going to stop it. So the only thing you can do is do the right thing, which is what Judge Wilson did. He did the right thing. He ruled in favor of Officer Jason Stockley, exonerating him from a shooting that left Anthony Lamar Smith dead. Holy mother of Sharpton, folks, the race pimping dinner bell rings. Ding, 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 ding. And here they come running like Pavlov's dogs, because you know what? The Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharptons are played, but there's a whole new crop of these people. Here in town, it's a guy named Antonio French. He's the one who went to Ferguson out of his district, and I mean, you had to see it. It was like an acting thing. I mean, it was like watching a bad performance of Denzel. Why me? It's like he was getting hit with water or something. The cops arrested him. It was all contrived. They all want to be the next something, whatever it is, the next big race pimp. Maybe they could start a reality show, the next big race pimp, and see who all shows up. And don't think it's just going to be black people. Oh, no. You're going to get your M&Ms that want to be a part of it. White folks, who are sympathetic. And ironically, as I mentioned before, many of these protesters were trust fund baby white kids. You could see it. I mean, more money than sense. Don't know anything about these issues. I heard interviews with people, older white lady carrying a Black Lives Matter sign, and they ask her on Fox, do you know that these people condone the killing of police officers? Well, I don't know anything about that. I just don't think anybody should kill anybody. We just told you. They condone the killing of police officers. Well, I don't know. I'm just down with the cause. It's crazy watching these people. Protesters were early, ready to go, folks, from all over the country. They wanted to, one of them said, to be part of history. I'm like, the history of what? The history was Ferguson Part 2, or so it would seem. For weeks, folks, the state of Missouri prepared for the verdict that happened the other day. Think about that. Cities around this country have cases involving police officers that they can't tell you about. They have to be careful in explaining why. Because those cases are volatile in the lives, in the way that blacks and leftists process, these leftist blacks process these things. They're volatile. White cop shot a black dude who was committing a crime. For us, that's open and shut. For them, no. The city has to be very, they have to essentially walk on eggshells before they can tell you, hey, yeah, a black guy got shot. He got killed by a cop, blah, blah, blah. Oh, well, let's be careful with how we report that. And they have to be concerned about how much money it's going to cost them. This guy that got killed, Anthony Lamar Smith, his family got $800,000 or $900,000. Didn't quite hit a 7-figure payday, but still the lottery. Think about it. All these people getting shot and killed. A freaking heroin dealer gets shot and killed, and they want to pay him off, pay his family off. Now, how long do you think that works? How long are you going to survive? How long do you as a taxpayer say, you know what? I don't care if you kill all these people. We'll just keep paying. We'll keep paying. We'll keep paying for Anthony's illegitimate kids. We'll keep paying for Anthony's drug rehab, his stints in jail, and everything else. Because you know what? We got nothing but time and money on our hands. And we canonize these guys. I'm not saying you and I. I'm talking about the left, society. They've made a new hero. Now, Mark Lamont Hill and all these guys. When you talk about, you talk about Tamir Rice, and you talk about Anthony Lamar Smith, and yep, it's coming.
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.